Hey everyone, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for Patch Notes! This is Patch Notes 418, where it's even fancier than before.
Is this where I do the side turn?
Alright.
Camera 2 now?
Yeah, your camera 2's not working?
No, mine's not
That's
working.
no good. My camera 2 is working. All I have to do is go back to this one. But yes, it's Patch 418. Oh. I turned you off for a second. All right, we're good. Anyways. And then patch 418, we're going to talk about what's happening in the patch notes. And yeah, lots of changes. And actually not a lot of changes, but some cool changes. So
pretty small changes.
What we do in patch notes is we talk about what's happening in the patch, let you know what's important, and what you shouldn't worry about, and what was necessary. So, I don't know. Did I ask you how you're doing? Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Kyle's doing
but
good.
I don't think you did, but that's okay because no one really cares. They're here for you, baby. They're here for
No,
you.
you don't even have to lie. It's okay. No lying. Anyways, champions. Sion. I should have gone to camera 2 for that. Sion. Anyways, Sion is his complete rework is finally going live after about 1.5 years.
He's huge.
He is huge.
He's like the size of a turret.
It looks awesome.
Prepare yourself.
But yeah, we can look more into him in other places. You can watch his Champion Spotlight. It is live on the Riot YouTube channel. Yeah, that's about as much as we need to say. I think he looks way better than before, but then again, anything would have been better than before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pretty much that's all you have to say. Like as long as he's better than he was before, it's good.
Yeah.
So.
All right, next, or first, or whatever, we have Akali. Now, a couple changes come to Akali. Mostly her Twilight Shroud. The Shroud now grants movement speed each time Akali stealths, rapidly decaying over the course of 1 second. And then there's the percentages of how much she's going to get. And then they've removed Resistance is Futile, where Akali no longer gains bonus armor and magic resist while she is in the Shroud. So, kind of an interesting trade-off, really.
Makes sense though. She's an assassin, and assassins don't need tank stats; they need mobility. So
I think this could actually be pretty helpful for her when chasing, oddly, because it
anyway.
slows, but now it's gonna speed him up too. You know?
Yeah.
So you can close that gap quicker, which is kind of cool. Also, when escaping through bushes and terrain, trying to get to that stuff, you're gonna disappear quicker, which is good. You should be. You're a stealthy assassin. So, I think it'll be a fun mechanic. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Next, we have Anivia.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. First is her on her Q. Is what's getting touched. It's her Flash Frost. Now Flash Frost now has a cast indicator to show the stun range, which I think is good. It's always seemed a little iffy. And then the Flash Frost now has an icy cloud around its particle to show stun range. So stunning clarity is improved. So this is mostly a quality of life.
Yeah,
but it benefits everybody, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Anivia's still just an okay mid laner, I would guess.
She does a great job if she's up against hard sieging teams, though, because she's got that wave clear for days.
Yep.
But other than that, yeah, she's still okay. Next, we're actually seeing some changes happening to Azir, and these are changes that I thought would come through, and they have come through for the most part. First off being, in general, his base attack damage is going up, and his base attack speed is also going up, which should be good for just, in general, laning.
Helps him level 1.
Yeah, a lot more. Because he's pretty weak level 1. And then, next is his passive. Now, they fixed a bug where 2 Azirs were able to summon a Sun Disk from the same area, which obviously is a bug, so they fixed that. Able to target the Sun Disk clicker with their abilities, like at least in the Safeguard, so they're fixing some of those issues. And then tactical,
it's a whole bunch of bugs.
Yeah, there's a really looking over this, because I don't read into these too deep, because this is as surprising as it is with me and you. Is a lot of bug fixes, fixing bugs, inactive soldiers in active combat range, fix a bug where sand soldiers would fail to cross wall. Yeah, bug fix, multiple soldiers attacking multiple targets. Break dance fighting, fix a bug where dance would break Azir soldier basic attacks.
Wow.
What?
That's a pretty big bug.
Yeah. Maybe Azir wasn't done. He seemed really soon after...
after Gnar?
After Gnar.
Well, comparatively to like the 3 months that it took them to release Gnar.
Who was before Gnar?
Braum.
Yeah, Braum feels like he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's been around pretty much all of Summer Split.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's crazy. All right, Shifting Sands. This is new. Take me with you. If Azir uses Shifting Sands on a soldier currently moving via Conquering Sands, he'll now join the soldier on a combined magical journey. So they'll move together, which kind of makes sense, I suppose.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And then more bug fixes.
Then more bug fixes. Hooray. All types of bug fixes. Really. God, there's so many bug fixness. Fixness? Wow, amazing. Talk fixness, also goodness. Good talk. And then
the last thing that they mentioned though is the passive, the Sun Disc, does not ramp up in damage, and they're going to be buffing it in.
Yeah, I see that. Okay,
Why
so
don't they just do it now?
I have an idea. Azir has a lot of bugs, and he's also not that strong early. So things don't always work for you, and you don't have the capable damage. So in summary, don't play Azir. I think we've just saved people time. Camera 2. I think we've just saved people time. I don't think that worked. It may have lagged. Anyways, back to camera 1. All right, so yeah, do you have any opinions on Azir? I don't think he's good. I think if you got in like LCS or Diamond 1 insanely good, like mained him, I think that might make him a pretty worthy competitor. Like, you'll crush people. But outside of that range of awesome, I don't think he's amazing. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think he's just really meh.
I used to, like, when he first came out, I would ban him, not because I didn't know how to play against him or because he was overpowered, but because I didn't want him on my team. And I don't want to waste bans like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good.
So, yeah.
He's got too much where you're trying to do too much with other things happening, and you kind of, I don't want to say you forget about yourself, but that becomes a weird priority that starts to affect things. So you can't ever focus bursting down like a high priority. Like, you're almost protecting it. Like, he almost feels like he's going to be like what Vel'Koz was when he became a support shortly, but then basically just fell out of meta completely. I feel like he's going to kind of end up like Vel'Koz. Cooler than Vel'Koz, because I still think Vel'Koz is insanely boring. But yeah, which makes people mad, but I just don't. Vel'Koz is just this squiddy piece of crap. Anyways, Ezreal.
Buffs.
Alright, so Ezreal's getting some buffs. First off on his passive, which is his rising spell force. The buff duration is actually going up to 6 seconds, which is good. You'll keep it a little bit longer, and that can make the difference, to be honest. And then the Q is his Mystic Shot, and they're going to change the total attack damage ratio just up by 0.1, which should just help because you're building attack damage eventually on him. So really going to help him out, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really good, especially the attack speed that you get from his passive.
Yes.
The 0.1 that you get on the attack damage ratio isn't that big of a deal, but it'll definitely help early.
You're maxing it out, and it's going to give you just a little bit of extra damage early in lane, which is good, because if you think about champions like Lucian and Tristana, who have good damage early, foreshadowing, then, like, this is
or just
great,
in general.
Yeah, then it's just, it's great. So, yeah. I'm happy about it, because Ezreal, to me, is still not terrible. I know he's not good, but, like, if you're a really good Ezreal, like, you can do some work, so.
He's just so player based, and he's like so different from all the other AD carries that a lot of AD carries pick him up and think that they can do well with him just because he's another marksman. But since he has so many skills, it's like you rarely see a good Ezreal.
It's true.
You see a whole lot of Pulse Fire Ezreals, but not very many good ones.
Not that they're good. Talked about that in a video over on Curse. All right, next we have the GP, which is the Gangplank.
Oh, I love this.
Cannon Barrage. Cannons now fall in waves that damage the whole zone once per second, instead of randomly all over the friggin' place. Also, the cooldown on it has been tweaked to be a little bit longer at level 1, but also be shorter at level 3.
And 2.
And 2 as well. Yeah, 5 seconds. So
great change.
Good changes.
More reliable.
Yes. I like Gangplank. I still don't think overall he's
not a good champion.
Yeah, not in a good spot, I think, but I like him.
This makes a whole lot of sense, because there's been times where, like, people would be running back to their tower, and I would ulti. So, like, they had to run through the entire thing, and they would not get hit by anything. And that was just super frustrating. So, this is a This is definitely a good change. It'll help Gangplank out a lot, especially if you can like team fight in the goo.
In the goo, he says.
In
the goo. All right. Next, we have the Kha'Zix. Now they wrote this really long paragraph. Let me summarize it. He's strong. People have been playing him in the LCS. Let's nerf his void spikes.
Yes.
So they're
essentially
nerfing
that's
his
all
void
it
spikes.
is.
They're giving him actually a little bit more damage early at level 1, which is adequate because 75 is not that much really, but only 5.
It's only 5 damage, and since you max it first, where you're gonna have like you're gonna be level 4 before you max like put another point into it,
Exactly.
and it's really just for like the heal, like the early heal.
Mm-hmm. So knocking some damage off of it later, 35. It's not any of the scaling stuff that whatever does with it. I don't really know because I don't play Kha'Zix, I mean, but yeah. Yeah, he's getting a little nerf. If this isn't your only damage, so it's okay. And once again, this goes back in the day when everybody was only maxing W, which we're back to, and they were putting their evolve in it, and they were becoming mage Kha'S or mage Zix.
Ka mages.
Ka mages. Kamehameha. Where you're just basically getting a tier, which we're not seeing, but you would just spam your W all day because it did enough damage and it was on a lowish cooldown. So, and in the lane that was great, and then you just jump on him and execute him. So, yeah, nerfs to him. Next, we're seeing some small nerfs to Lucian. Nothing with his damage, but Relentless Pursuit is no longer going to be free to cast. It will become free to cast once you put 5 points into it, which is going to be late game. But it's going to have a small mana cost. But I mean, he had spammable abilities in lane. Something needs to cost him a little bit. So
yeah, I don't know if I like this at all.
I think it's an okay idea.
Yeah, but like I don't know. People max E out second on him anyway, so
we were actually concerned about him being too weak in laning phase. Ha.
Ha. Does it really say ha? It does say ha.
Yeah, it does say ha.
My favorite is the occasionally relenting pursuit.
Yeah, it should make him a little less aggressive in lane just because he's going to spam. He's going to go through some more mana.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. He should be spending a little mana. I'm okay if it scales off like that, but yeah.
I don't think there should be any zero. Like, with champions with resources, there should be no zero cost thing. Because, like, Gragas had a zero cost thing, and Lucian did, I guess, and they've gotten rid of them.
It also sucks, too, if you don't know that, and they're out of mana, but then they're not out of mana.
Yeah.
Because something's free to cast, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, next. New. Absolute Zero Clarity. The tooltip now shows the minimum damage it will deal.
That's awesome.
It is good.
But irrelevant.
Next, Talon.
Oh, this makes me mad.
Cutthroat now properly grants assists.
They needed to do, this shouldn't have happened. Because, you would just cutthroat people, and, if you, died or something, you wouldn't get an assist for it, even though they were, super slow.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. This is some of the, one of those things that shouldn't have made it to public.
Yeah, I don't know how it gets through, but it did. Whatever.
So, come on, PvE.
Although I wouldn't play Talon, but
do your job. Yeah.
Unless you're super far ahead. Next, Tristana.
Finally,
her attack speed per level is being reduced
by a lot.
And then her rapid fire duration is being reduced by 2 seconds, so it's only 5 seconds now. And then the bonus attack speed now grants more attack speed.
At later levels.
So they take it away from the scaling of just general leveling up, and the duration on quickfire is being reduced.
They take it away from the early game and put it in the late game and make it actually skill based.
Yes.
When you use it, so you can't just spam that. Because 2 seconds is a big deal when you're going to be team fighting. Because a lot of team fights late game last more than 5 seconds. So you're going to have to choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Yeah,
but at least they didn't do some half buff like they did last patch, where they increased the cooldown of her ultimate, and they were like, "This fixes Tristana."
This fixes every. No, it doesn't. We lied.
It didn't.
She just has to wait 5 more seconds. Some changes are coming to Victor. We'll talk about him too for a little bit in general. First off, it says Q. The bonus discharge magic damage can no longer critically strike. And
I didn't know it could.
I didn't know either. And the bug fix, Victor's shield will now properly break when Victor takes small amounts of damage. don't know what that means. But is that like minion?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would guess
so. I don't know. General thoughts on Victor. Everybody thinks he's super broken. I'm gonna be honest. I think his early game against certain mids is not super underwhelming, but it's not crazy by any means. If he does get going, yeah, I think he actually is decently beast, but I don't think he's super overpowered, like a lot of people think. I think he actually is kind of where he should be. I think the other problem was a lot of people were playing against him and hadn't seen a Victor in a year, and they didn't know how to play against him.
Well, and his skills, from what they remembered, all changed.
Also,
for the most part.
Also that is true. Oh, stretch it out. And then
he's okay.
Yeah, I think Victor's fine. I think he's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him. So, and then next we have Wukong, where his Nimbus Strike will no longer pick a secondary target if they're targetable but invisible due to the fog of war. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can't see him, you're not going to hit him.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
It's legit, some would say. I think it's legit. Next, we're having some changes to Yojimbo.
Yojimbo.
So Yojimbo is getting his health reduced by a lot. By 50. Yeah. Instead of 512, it's going to be 462. And then his base movement speed is being cut down by 10. If you have a little bit of a brain, and you played him at least a dozen times, you're probably not terrible at Yasuo. Like, you can just dash around and do a lot of damage and run away because you're really fast and you had a lot of health. Because if you teamed up 512 with a Doran's blade, that's
80.
80, yeah, so 592 plus your seals if you did health seals. 650, 660? Level 1? Why do you have so much health as a super fast, tons of damage?
It's 70 health, it's not 80.
Oh, then,
I was wrong.
Whatever.
5,
but you know what I'm saying? But the extra, and then health from your runes.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about this with someone earlier, and they were like, they need to change his damage rather than change his survivability. And I actually don't agree with that, because
I think if
he's going to do a shit tons of damage, you should be able to kill him really, really fast.
Yeah.
So they're just choosing him to be that assassin carry.
He can do the damage, but he's going to die if he overcommits.
Yeah, and this
or if he gets into a bad engagement that he thought he could win, and having not an extra 100 health now, or 50 health, could be the difference. Because how many level 1 or 2 fights you get in with, and you ignite him, and he gets away with 30 health, and you're like, he does a lot of damage, and I can't kill him. Well, now you can kill him. You'll trade. He got first blood, but you at least could trade. Like, if that's the difference that actually happens,
it'll open up counterplay level 1 for like weaker mid laners, which is really nice.
Yeah, I think this is good. Poking on him is gonna feel better, and
or doable now.
Yeah, because the other problem is he's got a shield. Like, who cares if his damage has been nerfed? If he's smart, he doesn't engage unless he has his shield, and he's trying to stay safe while he's trying to rebuild it. I mean, once again, this is a combination of also separating bad Yasuos from good Yasuos.
Well, the 10 on movement speed actually affects his shield.
It does.
Like, ability as well. So,
the other problem is he doesn't need that much movement speed because everybody who's smart builds a static shiv first. Like, you're getting more movement speed automatically from that item. So, I'm talking about like early game. Like,
you're
talking early, but I mean, like, it didn't even matter because even if you skipped your boots, you were still getting movement speed. Like, he's taken care of regardless. So, so that is Yasuo. Much necessary change, good. Next.
Massive texture rebalance.
Exactly. Part 2. We have changes to textures on Blitz, Brand, Eve, Graves, Nocturne, Olaf.
And assorted skins. They all look generally the same, but
yeah, they don't look much different, but it's for preparations for next season. So
yep.
And just in general updating stuff. And then next we have some splash updates.
They look super cool.
They do. All right, so here's Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath is probably my favorite out of these.
Yeah, he looks scary. Although I think his in-game model now needs to look scarier. But he looks scary. Look at this little mini Pantheon-looking thing right here. That's awesome. So, then Kog'Maw.
I don't know. Were they trying to make him look like a Zerg?
I don't know. They really have done a good job.
Yeah, they did.
But I think he looks way cooler. Or way better. His old skin, I mean, it was drawn 5 years ago. I mean, it's old. Yeah. So, this looks way better. And then next,
same thing with Kog'Maw.
Is that what I was just saying? Kog'Maw.
Well, Well, no, I was saying like this, like what you said with Cho'Gath, like the
Oh, Kog'Maw
if
needs
they,
to look better in game
yeah,
now.
if they're
He's
gonna
like
redo these
he's
splash
like
arts from
gray
5 years
now.
ago, then they need to redo the character models as well.
He's like gray now too. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, he's like green in the game. So,
yeah.
and then Lee Sin,
Oh
didn't he
my
just?
goodness.
How old is his other one?
It wasn't super old, but
Yeah.
it was still needed to be redone.
Although this may be coming over from a different region.
It looks very like Chinese
It does look kind of Chinese. I mean, he's kind of
art style.
He's kind of a monk, but yeah.
Yeah.
These are two different art styles, though, legitimately. So, although I do really like the Kog'Maw one, that does look pretty sweet. So, and the Cho'Gath one is, I mean, these dudes are getting fucked up. So, yeah, I'm excited about those. The skins look good. Those are splash updates. Now next, Random's Omen. It's a little bug, but they're actually implementing it. The attack speed reduction will be 15%. This is good, I think. I love Omen, so.
Yeah, they did their job of making AD carries more viable, but they just overdid it a little bit because
Parts.
mid and late game AD carries are still like if you have the right one, like they team crush essentially.
Oh, you can speak correct voice. Uh-oh. All right.
Uh-oh. But yeah. It's a good change. It needed to be brought back. A 5% attack speed reduction isn't that big of a deal. Like, it's still not wither.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So.
That's good. I like it. Next, featured game modes. Next featured game mode actually will be Hexakill on the Twisted Tree line. Should be pretty chaotic.
It's almost too much. Like, there's just no people that, like, actually go for
objectives.
What you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Well,
because no you all just like run into you just run into the middle of the map. Like there was a game that I was playing on the PvE and it was we had 100 kills in the game in like the first 15 minutes of the game. Like people were just running out and dying. And I was just like, that's not
too many.
Yeah, this is not what it's supposed to be. So yeah, I completely dislike this, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But I see what they're trying to go for because, like, I don't know if we've mentioned it previously, but eventually they want to get to the point where you can just, like, turn on different game modes. Like, if you, like, get accustomed together with 10 people, you can be like, oh, we want to play Earth on, you know, Hexakill on Dominion map, and then just go.
Yeah.
So, like, if that's what they're going for and they just want to like get all these bug fixes out for like each individual like style, like I'm okay with it, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. In-game announcement banners have been changed again. They have been scaled down a bit, and they've been moved higher up. Increase the transparency of announcements, background effects. Some names have been removed from some of the announcements. Yeah. Good. Made sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go with good.
Oh my gosh! This next change is the greatest change that League of Legends has ever done.
Options menu. With our new audio engine up and running, things are awesome. So we've added a new volume slider for pings.
Is that not the greatest thing ever?
Added a new volume slider for ambience.
Ambiance. For like the red. Like
yeah. No, I was just reading.
I'm a big fan of the pings because you always get that one game a day where like this one person like literally just pings 72,000 times every time he's available to ping, and it's just instead of being able to like
I wouldn't say turn it off because pings are important, but yeah, I mean if you get a game where somebody's like just turn that shit down.
Yeah, I honestly feel like if you mute someone, their ping should go away as well, but I don't know. So, they're removing Pando.
Pando Media Booster is gone. They are removing it. Hooray, it's gone.
It needed to be done. Slows the game down.
Suggested players invite list is in pre-load lobbies now recommends friends of friends who are currently online and available for a game. Interesting.
You think they would do that to start with? Bug fixes.
Bug fixes. A lot of it is fixes.
Look at that. Look at that Garen change.
Garen's R will no longer cancel itself if the target is in the fog of war while Garen is midcast.
That's a big deal.
God, that was annoying. Undoing a Ruby Sightstone purchase no longer interferes with Sightstone's abilities to place wards. That was a problem too. Abilities blocked by spell shields. No longer proc lifesteal or spell vamp. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
An improved Soraka bot's AI. Who cares? Soraka once again has recommended items in Aram. Upcoming skins! Dunk Master Darius, Chump Master Shyvana.
Championship Nirvana.
Yep. Ravenborn, sorry, not Rivenborn.
Rivenborn LeBlanc.
Whoa, that'd be crazy skin. Somebody should do it. And then Underworld Wooken. There's your Dunk Master. I saw this splash art.
Which one?
Dunk Master Darius. A year ago. Actually, a little over a year ago. At Riot's headquarters. On a wall. And I had signed shit that said I wouldn't say anything. But I saw, the splash art has not changed in a full year.
Well, yeah, it's really, really good, so.
Yeah. So, that's Dunk Master. Championship Shyvana, how do you feel? She looks weird.
It looks a little, not up to par with their other skins that they've been coming out with.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and I don't know if she's a good choice for this skin. She already has a handful of cool skins. Anyways.
Yeah, well, it's just comparatively to Championship Thresh or Championship
cool
Ribbon.
Skin. Yeah,
they're both super cool skins, and this one just doesn't have that same draw to me.
Obviously, I think herself she looks weird, but
yeah, I don't like the scaly things around her eyes. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird too. And then there's the LeBlanc.
This is pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty well done in terms of splash art.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then Under the Veiled Monkey.
It looks like Wukong in Thresh had a baby.
They probably did have a baby, but yeah, I think it looks all right. A lot of blue skins. So, and yeah, that pretty much patch
is the end of the patch.
It is.
Wait, real quick. Out of the 4 teams left, who's winning Worlds?
Okay. All right.
Got blue, white, OMG, and
I think I don't know. Okay, blue and white is gonna be crazy. Blue typically always beats white, but I personally believe white is a better team.
Yeah.
So if we go off of who's a better team, I think white is a better team. I think they dictate their games better. So I think white should win, and white would go, and I would believe white would win it all personally. And then I don't know,
Royal Club looking real good with them Koreans on them teams.
I do agree. Royal Club versus OMG is interesting. Now OMG didn't have good group stages, but OMG swept Najin. But why Najin's not a good Korean team?
Well, they're third in Korea, so
but they only did good at the very end of the season, which counts. I agree. But early on in the season, they couldn't beat anyone. So they're really a dark horse that they got kicked obviously, but they were a weird dark horse. Korean team. OMG I think is good, but I don't think they're good enough. So I think it will be Royal Club, and I think they would put up a hell of a show, and if they did some crazy shit at Worlds they could do it, but I think if the games come down to your generic League of Legends standard matches, smart pick and bans, just smart laning, I think white would win it. So I'm going with white and Royal Club making it. I could be wrong. I think all the teams are really good that are left. So
when Cloud9 beat white in game 1, beating a Korean team in game 1, I'm gonna say it's 30% chance likely, but to beat them 3 times in a 5-game series, they adapt, their halftime adjustments are so much better than
everyone else's.
American teams and Korean or in EU teams and Chinese teams. That it's just you need to beat them at least the first 2 games, or else you have no chance.
Yeah. It's tough. So that's who I think will go. Who do you think?
I agree.
You think
I actually think it's going to be blue, though, but it's going to be one of the Samsung.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a Samsung crown champion this season.
I would love to see Royal Club upset it.
Me too.
It'd be cool because that brings a lot of debate back to who's stronger, because EU and NA think that they're as strong as China now.
No.
I don't think we are, but I think we're way closer than we used to be.
I think that
Although EU's not looking too hot.
I think that it's starting to flatten out a little bit.
A tiny bit, yeah. So, well, I just lost quality on you. Anyways, so that is going to be, yeah. That's going to be the patch notes for 18. Let us know what you thought about the patch. Let me know what you thought was bad in the patch, or what you would have changed, or what you would want different, or
what do you want to see in the next patch that should to be changed?
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Check out Kyle in the description, and we'll see all of you guys later.
Later.
Bye.